Hey, I thought I would come in and give a few takeaways from Camp FI or Financial Independence. I just got back last night and I wanted to share because I have been listening to podcasts for, oh gosh, 5 years now. And I have been in what I would consider the financial independence community formally for 5 years now. Apparently, I've been in it a long time and I didn't know it. So these are my key takeaways for it. Diversity. I really enjoyed the diversity of people. I live in the South. While I work in a diverse office, I do not get oh, my cat is going to join us. I do not get the opportunity to be around diverse populations very often, and I so loved that. I loved that honestly, I thought it would be mostly men and married couples, and it was probably mostly women, which I thought was crazy, which was awesome. So there were a lot of women there like me who had started over and who had gotten divorced and had really just kind of were business owners and things like that. And that was so great to see. And they were all different backgrounds, which I loved. The other thing that I love about things like this, and I haven't been able to do this because of COVID. Oh, my kitty's going to give me a bath now. Is a lot of times I used to lead teacher trainings. So for 10 years, I led teacher trainings. I also put on a lot of sustainability events and things like that. And when you get out and you're meeting people who are very different than you, but you have a lot of the same thought processes or you see life very similarly, you make a connection. And there were two young men there that I made a connection with over simple living and voluntary simplicity. And it was so nice because one of them was he was an immigrant and he had only, his English was not great. But it was so interesting to have such a connection with this young man. His name was Shaw. I hope I'm saying that right. And I think it's not pronounced Shaw, but that's close to how it sounds. And then another young man, and I hate to say that I did not get his name, but it just like the people you least expect to connect with, that you have a connection with, that you would have never ever had a connection with if you didn't put yourself out there. And so that was great. I learned some things about myself, which was that I see the world through the lens of simple living, voluntary simplicity. I've always thought, well, I'm just very averse to risk. But the truth is, I'm averse to complication. I don't like a lot of complication. I don't want things that are going to complicate my life, take me away from my family or my peace. And when life gets really crazy like that, I feel anxious. And so I kind of learned that about myself. Like, it's okay to be like that. And the other thing was I learned that we're doing really good despite our late start in life, because I had been really frugal all my life and had been into the simple living. I come at a lot of what I do from an ethical standpoint, an environmental standpoint with the simplicity. I'm a very big believer that not consuming more than what you need is part of like God's plan for us, like, or as the Native Americans, believe, like, and I am Native American, even though I don't look like it, Native American and Irish and Scottish, so there you go, that we are to leave the earth better than we found it. And as a whole, we're not doing that. And so part of my reason for being so frugal and non-consumeristic is because I don't believe in taking more than I should, and I don't believe in consuming all the world's water if it's going to hurt someone else. So anyway, water is just one example. And again, I did this, I don't know if I said this, because I was struggling with a lot of anxiety and social anxiety from COVID. I had been sick twice this year. I've avoided crowds, and my anxiety actually had gotten a lot worse. I have heard it said that anxiety is a byproduct of having COVID, but maybe so, because I already had it so bad. But I feel like, feeling the need to avoid crowds, feeling a lot of fear, developing a lot of fear of crowds, not just because of COVID, but because of things you see on the news. Me forcing myself to do something and seeing that I could do it and everything was okay was really helpful. Being an introvert, I'm an extroverted type person in social situations. I can get along really well with people. I will go up and introduce myself. Is it scary? Yeah, it's scary. Can I do it? Do I present well? Yes, I'm used to being in front of people. I've been a teacher most of my life. But I still need a lot of downtime. So like at night when people would go to the bonfire, I would go back to my room and read. When there was free time, I had a book, but I would only allow myself so much time walking by myself or reading by myself before I would go and make myself sit down and talk to other people. So that was a little challenging for me. Also, it is a camping experience, and so one should expect that it will be a camping experience. And if you're not quite the camping type, I'm kind of the give me a nice hotel with good sheets and good pillows kind of girl. But and that's where I will spend my money and my value. But I kind of had to suck it up and get over it, and I'm glad I did, because it was a little bit more rustic accommodations, and that's fine. You know, when 20 years ago, that would have been fine with me. Today, it's a little bit of more of a mental having to talk myself into it, but that was okay. If you're thinking about going to a Camp FI, I would highly recommend it. If you're interested in the community, I think it's really, really good for all young people should do this, and to kind of learn about finances and other people who are learning, because finances they impact every part of your life. All right, well, I hope that you all enjoyed my takeaway from Camp FI. Thank you. Bye-bye.